Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lunch with Lisa. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. Today I wanted to talk about life on Earth. Life on Earth these days, it's been a little stressful, if you noticed. But stress and health really are on opposite ends of the spectrum. Health and happiness go hand in hand. You can't be in a state of disease and really truly be happy at the same time. I mean, it doesn't really happen that way, because if you're struggling with your body, there's struggle in your life. There's worry in your life. There's stress and fear in your life. But when we're happy and life is fun, we create a completely different reality for ourselves. I wrote this book after I found myself facing cancer. I was living in fear, terror every day about this enemy that seemed to be attacking me. And I can tell you one thing, life was not fun. But it didn't get that way overnight. My health deteriorated. The more stress, the more struggle I had in my life, the worse my health got. There was a direct correlation between my happiness and my health, or my lack thereof, more to the point. And look at our society today. Are people really happy? Are we happy running around in fear of a microorganism? Are we really happy being at odds with our neighbors? Are we really happy with the lives that we're living right now? And I would say for the majority of humans, the answer to that question is probably no. But what I realized in my state of dis-ease was that I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that I had created my condition. I knew that I was responsible for that manifestation. Because quantum physics confirms that we are living in a holographic universe. And that means that our every move, our every belief gets mirrored back to us. So we've all heard that our thoughts create our realities. And it's really our beliefs that create our realities. And for the most part, it's our fears that have been creating our realities for us. And as long as we're willing to live in fear of the symptoms that show up in our bodies, fear of a perceived problem with a microorganism, fear of what's going on in the external world, we simply create more fear-based reality for ourselves. And living in a fear-based reality is not at all fun. But you know what? We can change that. We each have the ability to turn that around. We each have the ability to create our realities. We each individually create our own personal reality. And at the same time, we are living in a collective reality. And it is our individual realities that go into the conglomeration of the collective reality. So in order to change anything, whether individually or collectively, we have to change it. It's not going to get changed for us. In fact, it has been kind of created for us through our own fears. And those fears have been generated by a narrative, by a lot of people who have instilled fear on purpose into the collective consciousness. And by us being willing to live in that fear, we're simply generating more fear-based reality for ourselves. So what I learned from my experience was, as soon as I was able to see beyond the fear, I realized that my freedom was beyond the fear. As long as I was willing to live in fear of what was happening to my body, I was just going to create more dis-ease with my body. But once I stepped beyond the fear, once I was able to see past the fear-based scenario, I was able to change my entire reality around. And because we're each creating our own reality, we each get to choose the quality of reality that we create for ourselves. But if we're willing to run around in fear, that fear is going to create the reality for us. And it's not going to be fun. Guaranteed. Fear does not create fun. It doesn't create joy. It doesn't create any of the things that we truly desire. And it definitely doesn't create health. So how do we change this? Well, we have to change what we focus on. We have to start looking for what we want to see. We have to start focusing on the reality that we would like to create for ourselves. If you want to create a happy reality, then you've got to start tuning in to the frequency of happy. Because happy is like a radio station it's a frequency. And it is like a radio station that the universe broadcasts 24/7. Happy, healthy, wealthy, abundant, alive, vibrant, curious, confident, capable. All of these are radio stations of frequency that the universe broadcasts 24/7. Just like fear, doubt, guilt, shame, blame, all of those are also frequencies that are being broadcast 24/7. It just so happens that those frequencies are really, really loud these days. The noise from the external reality, the fear-based messages are really, really loud, and they grab our attention. But when we pay attention to those, we cannot be paying attention to what we truly desire, because this is an either-or universe. We're either creating the things that we desire, or the fear-based realities are creating our realities for us. So when is life going to get fun on this planet? When are we going to learn how to live peacefully and joyfully together, sharing the wealth on this planet? There's a tiny fraction of the population on this planet that owns 95% of the wealth on this planet. It's a massive imbalance. How are we going to turn that around? How are we each going to share in the wealth of this planet? How are we each going to be provided for with the resources that are available to everyone. Well, we have to create them for ourselves. They're not just going to be handed to us, at least yet. There are many things that are in the pipeline that have already been invented, that have already been put in place, but we have to claim them. We have to create them for ourselves. Your health isn't just going to happen. You have to create it. Ease, joy, fun. Nobody can create those for you. You have to create them. And you know what? It's just as easy and way more fun to create love-based, joy-based realities rather than fear-based ones. Hey, Kinsey, thanks for joining. Glad to see you on here. So when are we going to stop allowing fear and dis-ease to run our lives? When are we going to take our power back from the fear-based scenarios? When are we going to start focusing inside on all those frequencies that are being generated by the universe 24/7? The health, the wealth, the ease, the joy. They come from inside. They're not going to come from outside. The external world is not going to give them to us. We have to give these things to ourselves and ourselves. We have to allow ourselves to be happy for no other reason than it feels good. Because when we feel good, our bodies feel good. And when our bodies feel good, our bodies can heal themselves. They balance themselves automatically. But we have to be willing to feel good. We have to be willing to create lives for ourselves that are fun, that are joyful, that are easy, that feel good to us. But we can't do that when we're focused on the external noise. The noise is a massive distraction. And it's not to say ignore the noise, but it is to say don't allow the noise to override your reality. Don't allow yourself to fall victim to the noise. In order for us to create healthy, happy realities for ourselves, we have to do that ourselves. So we have to focus on what it is that we want, not on the fear-based scenarios that we don't want that are going on out there. Because I'm quite sure that we can all agree that what's going on out there is really not acceptable as a normal lifestyle or a fun lifestyle for any of us. But in order for us to change that external narrative, we have to each change it within ourselves first. And then we have to demonstrate the peaceful, easy, joyful realities that are possible for everyone when we allow them. And it all starts with you and me, and going inside and be willing to stop creating the fear-based scenarios, stop allowing ourselves to fall victim to our fears, but rather turn our attention inward to the love, the light, the joy, the bliss that is inside. Everything we desire is inside. Are you willing to have it? Are you willing to have your desires? In order to have your desires, the health, the wealth, the joy, the ease, you have to be willing to look for them inside. They're not going to come from the external world. But when we change ourselves on the inside, that's what changes the external world. But it starts with each one of us. Health and happiness come from within. If you would like to start learning how to create health and happiness, if this is a new concept, or if you've been trying to create health and happiness for a while, but you haven't had much success, I can show you how to do this in a very simple fashion. It doesn't have to be difficult. Please feel free to reach out if I can be of assistance. But first, be willing to sit quietly and look inside. Start tuning in to happy, to healthy, wealthy. All of these frequencies are inside, just like little radio stations, but you have to look for them. Those stations are being broadcast 24/7. But just like on a radio, you're not going to get the classical music station on the rock channel. It's simply not going to happen. You have to tune your radio to the station you want to listen to. You have to tune your focus to the reality you wish to experience. And it's really as simple as tuning a radio dial. Tuning your focus, fine-tuning your focus. So life will get fun and easy as soon as we start creating it to be that way. I am living proof of all of this. I went from living in terror every single day, but I changed my point of view. I changed my focus. And now life is a completely different ballgame. It's easy, it's fun. I'm making a difference in the world. And it's a kick in the pants. It's great. My clients are getting great results and it's a blast. Everybody is capable of having a blast in their life. And everybody deserves that. You deserve that. So if you haven't been able to give that to yourself, please reach out and I will help you. I will help guide you into that direction. If you want to set up a complimentary 30-minute discovery consultation so I can help get you on the path. I offer those for free. Reach out to me in Messenger and we'll set up a time. So I hope this has been helpful. Life will get fun on earth as soon as we create it to be that way. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.